Welcome to episode 41 of the New England Gal Knits podcast. I am Janet, and you can find me on Instagram at the New England Gal, and you can find my hand-dyed yarn and bags at Woolen Lights on Etsy, and I will link everything down below. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. It's been a while. And if you're a new viewer, I hope you enjoy the podcast. If you do, consider subscribing and liking this video. It's been a while because I had computer issues, storage issues, camera issues. I have a new computer now. I should be able to edit. I should be able to upload. I am actually using a new camera. I am hoping everything works and everything is focused. I am hopefully going to be getting a part for the camera to make it easier, and I'm hoping the sound's okay. If not, I'm gonna have to consider getting a microphone for it as well. So fingers crossed this works out okay. It is January 15th. It is Friday after work. I have poured myself a gin and tonic. My husband has just left the office, so he should be home in about 45 minutes, so I'm hoping that's enough to record this. My children are hiding. One of them is downstairs. For Christmas, we ended up putting new lighting downstairs in our basement. I have a new craft area with lighting. Once it gets organized, I'm hoping I can share that with you guys, but that's half of the basement, and the other half we set up with a big screen TV and all the wiring for that. So all of the video, I'm blanking on words, and it hasn't even started, and I've only had 2 sips of this. There's probably, with the ice melting, more water in tonic than there is gin. All of the video game consoles. This could be a very long episode. All of the video game consoles are no longer in my living room. They are all downstairs. So I'm sitting at my desk. It's kind of awkward. I have a desk set up between the dining room and living room. We're not in a huge house, but I'm still working from home, which is nice. And the kids are in school. We finally have desks in their room. Everything's all set up nicely. If you're wondering why my gin and tonic is pink, the tonic is actually a strawberry vanilla by Alpaca, which is a probiotic tonic. So I'm thinking between the gin and the probiotic, they kind of cancel themselves out, so it's kind of healthy. We'll see. It's very tasty. Anyways, it's been a long week and a half here in the United States. January 20th can't come fast enough, and I'm going to leave it at that. It is just scary and heartbreaking, and trying to explain to your kids that are old enough to understand what's going on has not been the easiest. Anyways, January 20th coming soon. Anyways, let me jump into the knitting because that's what you're here for. I'll start off with what I'm wearing. So I just finished this in December. I'm probably the last person to have knit this, and I don't know what took me so long because I love it. This is the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. It is knit out of Brooklyn Tweed, a shelter in the Long John colorway. I absolutely love this red. I just want to knit everything in this color. It is the perfect shade of red. It's not too bright, it's muted. I absolutely love it. But I'm gonna stand up to show you. I have to warn you, in case you get a little sneak peek, I am wearing sweats. I only got dressed from the top up for you guys. It is Friday and I'm just gonna relax. Anyways, here it is in all its glory, and it is the perfect shape for me. I'm really enjoying these boxy fit sweaters lately with skinny jeans. It's perfect. I think it looks really flattering on me. I do really like the way it looks with the button down underneath it and the way the neckline is and all of this detail on the shoulder. I love it. I just love everything about it. So I'm so pleased with that. So that is what I'm wearing. So I do have two. Do I have two or three? I think I only have two finished objects. So let me share the first one. So this one, if you had watched my vlog that I had put up last week, you would have seen me wearing this. So this is the number 6 sweater by My Favorite Knitwear. Unfortunately, did not keep the ball band. I keep looking on my desk hoping maybe I have one laying around, but this is Lopi, but it's not Let Lopi, it's the one, the bulky, and it begins with an A, and there's an L and an F, and I couldn't pronounce it. Even if I had the ball band to read it, I'd probably just show you, so I'll have it all linked in the show notes below. But here it is. It fits perfectly. It is super comfortable. It's bound off all with I-cord binding, and I love it. I did make one modification, so you do a round of decreasing at the bottom of the sweater. I was afraid it was going to be too snug, so I only decreased by half of what was called for, and I'm so glad I did because it would have been way too tight had I not done that. So but that was the only modification I made. I don't gauge swatch unless I'm test knitting, so none of these sweaters have been swatched, so I'm not even sure if I meant gauge. They did, because it's, I think it's Swedish designer, I'm not quite sure, or Norwegian. However, the needles that are called for can't be converted to a US. The millimeter is somewhere between a 10.5, a US 10.5 and a US 11, and I ended up doing a 10.5 just because the millimeter size was the closest to the 10.5, but it should have been a little larger, so I kind of just guessed and then knit a size larger than what my bust circumference should have been. And anyways, these are bulkier sweaters, so I wasn't too worried about it, but anyways, it is comfortable, it is warm. I do have to wear something underneath that is full long sleeves because it is kind of itchy against the skin, just like any Lopi is. But it is comfortable, I love it. I wore it for a hike, and I wore a lightweight barn jacket I stole from my husband, one of his Lopi barn jackets. Hopefully he doesn't watch this or watch the video to see me wearing it in the vlog. But I was walking in 30-degree Fahrenheit weather, and it was really comfortable. I was almost closer to the warm side with this on, so I'm enjoying this, and it looks great with just a pair of leggings. It's just the perfect sweater for me. This is the style I've been going for. Bulky and loose and comfortable. So that's one finished object. And so the other finished object that I have is a pair of socks. So these are the Morrison socks, and they're by Jenny Blumenstein. I hope I said that name right. And I love these. They're knit out of Boston Tweed Arbor. I can't remember the color, and I thought I had the ball band still saved. However, I have a lot of works in progress laying around, and I have a lot of ball bands laying around, and my husband's been going around and throwing things out, and I can't blame him. So anyways, I have these done. I can't wait to wear them. I have been really enjoying thicker socks lately. I think mostly because I'm not leaving the house anymore, so I've been enjoying wearing the thicker socks rather than slippers. I'm not a big slipper person. I prefer my bare feet, and when my feet get cold, I throw on a pair of socks. So these knit up really quickly, and they were so much fun, and I love the cables and the texture pattern, which is great, and I love them and can't wait to wear them. Although at one point I did say to my husband, oh, they came out so nice, they're too nice to wear, which he rolled his eyes and he's like, wear them. And he's right. I love having nice things and I need to wear them. So that is it that I've finished recently. So I'm going to jump into my works in progress, and I'm going to start by sharing, I think, the sweater I'm working on. So I am working on the number 9 sweater. This again is by My Favorite Knitwear. And here is what I have so far. And I have the body all off the needles. I just have to pick up the arms and knit those. I love this collar. I love this 2x1 ribbing turtleneck. In the detail, in the raglan increases. It was super quick and easy to knit up. It's knit again on the, I don't have the pattern in front of me, but I'm knitting it again on 10.5 US 10.5 needles. Again, I didn't didn't do a swatch, but I've tried it on. It fits, and then it'll grow when I block it. So I am knitting it out of Knitting for Olive in the silk mohair. This is the slate gray, and I meant to look this up. So, and this is her heavy merino, and I think, see, it doesn't say the color on here, but I think the website that I got it on, it said dark mousse. I think it was mousse like the animal and not like the dessert. Pretty sure that's what it was, but I'll again have it in my show notes. And I picked it up just to share it with you because this is very hard to get here in the United States. But La Mercerie, I don't know if I said that right, but she's in the United States, and I ordered it from her. So it is very soft and cozy, and I can't wait to get it done. I do love the long ribbing. Normally I hit the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater, and I do the bare minimum amount of rounds just to get it off the needles. Does anyone else do that? Is it just me? But anyways, I did continue with the full 8 centimeters. I have to say I've been struggling with the patterns. You know what? I say I'm struggling, but I'm also being lazy because I could easily convert the centimeters to inches and write them down, but I'm too lazy to do that. And you know, if someone said 2 inches, I could guesstimate and like measure and be close to 2 inches and know how many more rounds I have to do. But when they, you know, they say 8 centimeters, I'm like, what does 8 centimeters translate to? So I'm constantly measuring. Again, laziness, because I could just convert it all into inches. Or I could get better at learning the metric system, which the rest of the world uses anyways, except for the United States. Anyways, so that is the sweater I'm working on. So tomorrow morning I am going to pick up the stitches for the first sleeve, and I'm hoping in a week or 2 to have that done. And then I have 2 sock projects that I'm working on, and the first one is, so doing the Lonely Forest. This is by Caitlin Hunter, and I am not very far along at all on this. I've gotten through the toe increases, and oops, I just lost my Suri. This is what I have so far. I'm really hoping with this camera everything is coming in focus. So I am knitting this out of, I dropped that, just a undyed skein of Suri alpaca silk that I had left from my shop, and then I am knitting it held with, this is Old Rusted Chair in the Panic in Detroit, and I love this color. I love the way it's blending together. I always kind of like holding 2 different colors together and seeing what you get out of it. I like how it's lightened it up, but you can see those pops of colors still really well in here. And I think you can see the detail pretty well as well. I was afraid because her pattern, you can see the detail perfectly, but it's a much more tonal color, so I was worried that maybe with something speckled and busier you wouldn't be able to see the pattern, but I think you can see it just fine, and I love the way this is coming out. And I should sit and knit. Maybe I'll do that after I'm done podcasting. I will sit down and work more on these, because what I've been working on the last 2 days is another pair of socks, but these are thick and chunky. They're knit out of worsted weight socks, and these are what I've been loving wearing at home. I have a pair in red. I have a striped pair that I knit. I started using a pattern by Piece Fleece, and this is what this yarn is too. I love their yarn, but anyways, it's Piece Fleece. This is in Rabbit Gray. So lesson learned that my camera stops recording after 20 minutes. Gonna have to do a better job of paying attention to that next time. Anyways, I think where I left off, and this is gonna be a horrible editing slice, but I'm knitting these socks out of Piece Fleece, and this is a 75% Navajo Rambouillet and domestic fine wool and 25% Mohair. And I think the reason I like these so much for socks is that it does have that Mohair, so I feel like it is going to wear a lot better than if it was just wool. And I've knit previous ones before, and I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I switched over. I am now doing a heel flap and gusset. I just feel like this fits my foot better, and I think it wears better on the back of the heel with the flap. And anyways, that is the sock I've been working on. I wound this into a ball. I don't know why. I was too lazy to go downstairs and get my Swift and my ball winder. So I threw this over the back of this chair, watched TV, and rolled it into a ball, and I've been keeping it. I love this bowl. So I got this bowl at down by my brother's. There's an artisan place where they sell all handcrafted. Down. My brother's up because he lives close to Canada. But they sell all local artisan products, and they have the most gorgeous. I have several bowls by different artists. I have an addiction to stoneware or hand-thrown pottery. I love it. But anyways, so I have the ball in there, and I keep it on my desk, and I'll put a few stitches on it here and there during work. So that is it for what I've been working on. I have purchased a few things that I did want to share, so I guess I'll start off with, I picked up a second skein of Piece Fleece in a blue, and I'm hoping this focuses because I'm not even going to try to pronounce the color of that. But these will become another pair of socks. I have a feeling I am here at home for the long run working. Honestly, I hope it. I enjoy working from home. I enjoy having no commute. I enjoy the peace and quiet of it. So I'm hoping even next winter I'll need thick socks I can wear while working. That's my hope. So these will become socks after I finish those. And then I picked up a Woolen vine. If you've been with me for a while, you know how much I love her things. This is the Sparkly Cider on her Blitz base, which is a 75% Merino wool, 20% nylon, and 5% gold stellina. I love it so much. Look at those speckles. And I think this is going to be becoming a hat. So I have left over from my No Frills pullover some pink. I think it's the Shell Color by Hayes Sister Yarn Co. They're unfortunately not dyeing yarn anymore, but I have almost a full skein of that left, so I think it'll work beautifully with this for a hat. And Kristen from Blumenstein just came out with a hat pattern. Was it last month? So I'm thinking of doing that and this becoming a hat. Haven't decided, but I think that's what I'm leaning to. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you, so I am a patron on Patreon for Prado de Lana, which is a sheep farm actually out in the Berkshires in Massachusetts, not too far away from me. She actually also owns a local yarn shop in Stockbridge, I think, which is basically right on the New York border, as far west of in Massachusetts that you can go. I'd love to get out there and visit someday once all this COVID stuff is hopefully settled. Anyways, when you're a patron on Patreon for her, you do get, depending on your level, you do get a skein of yarn. So this is the skein I got. It's a 2-ply DK, and it is from her sheep Abigail and Clarabelle. And what I love about her Patreon, you are a virtual shepherdess. So you literally adopt a sheep, you sponsor a sheep on her sheep farm, and she posts videos and you follow along for the year. This was the first year I did it, and I loved it. I love seeing the sheep, to be honest with you. So my brother in upstate New York owns a 100-acre farm. They have alpaca and goats and ducks and chickens, and there's peacocks. Didn't realize peacocks could live that far north in negative 14-degree weather, but they do. They've had them for years. And I tried convincing him that he should get sheep and I would pay for the upkeep of them if he took care of them and gave me their wool. And he told me no, that was too much work. And I can't blame him, but it was wishful thinking on my part. But this is nice because you kind of get that, and you get the skein of yarn from them every year, and it's just, I think it's great. I love it. It's a great idea. And I'm trying to figure out something special to do with that. So that is it that I have. As far as purchases go, I'm still trying to be really good, and we've done a lot of work on the house. And like I said, my husband's still traveling into Boston every day, but he works in a housing department at a university. And with COVID, it's a give and take, and he's been extremely busy and just hoping that the housing department stays open at the university, because if the housing is closed, they don't really need him. So we've been trying not to spend too much, being crazy and saving up, but everything's been going well. And to be honest with you, we are both very lucky that we still have jobs. The boys have been doing, well, they're back, well, so Ryan is back to hybrid. They were virtual, so they started the school year virtual. They went to hybrid. Then after Thanksgiving, they had to go to virtual again because there were a lot of cases and surging within the school. And then they went back to hybrid right after Christmas. And then Ryan is still in hybrid. Jacob, who's in high school, one of the students went to school with COVID, and there's been some kind of talk around town that the student had gotten a COVID test and still went to school anyways. So then half of the teachers and some of the students had a quarantine. So Jacob's right now virtual. I think they're going back to hybrid end of next week. So it's been an adjustment for them, but they're doing really, really well. I know I would not want to be a student right now and trying to do everything virtual, but it's been crazy, and we haven't been doing a whole lot. I'm gonna grab my gin and tonic. Yeah, we haven't been doing, can't go anywhere. We've been staying to ourselves. I did binge watch all of the Bridgertons. Steve's even watching it, although he says it's not horrible, but it's not great, but he's watching it. I loved it. It's not kid-friendly. Do not watch it with kids around. I have to say, back in 2000 when the book series came out, I have read them all. I'm rereading them again because I love them so much and I want to keep up, hopefully, with the series. I'm hoping it gets renewed. So that's what I've been binge watching. Haven't really watched anything else on TV. My husband and I, Steve and I, are going to go play a game of cribbage tonight. I think he just got home, so I'm going to have to wrap this up because it's going to be coming up the stairs soon, and he is not going to want to be on camera. But I think that's it. I think that's all I have to share with you. I'll probably do another podcast in 2 weeks. I may try and do a vlog next week and see how that works if I do a vlog every other week and a podcast every other week. Not that there's anything too exciting going on, but that's my plan, that's my hope. But I hope you guys are all doing well, you're staying safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.